Top U.S. and Chinese officials met Friday after sparring over sharply different views of each other and the world in their first face-to-face talks since President Joe Biden took office. At the end of the talks, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said while there was disagreement over several issues, there were some places the two sides agreed.
On Iran, on North Korea, on Afghanistan, on climate, our interests intersect.
The meetings in Anchorage, Alaska were a new test in increasingly troubled relations between Washington and Beijing, which are at odds over a range of issues from trade to human rights in Tibet, Hong Kong, and China's western Xinjiang region, China's assertiveness in the South China Sea, and the coronavirus pandemic. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris offered solace to Asian Americans and a reeling nation on Friday as they visited Atlanta just days after a white gunman killed 8 people, most of them Asian American women. In an address at Emory University, President Biden said everyone in America must speak out against violence against Asian Americans and violence against anyone.
Hate and violence often hide in plain sight. It's often met with silence, but that has to change because our silence is complicity.
The visit during a nationwide spike of anti-Asian violence has added resonance with the presence of Harris, the first person of South Asian descent to be vice president, and it comes as Biden on Friday expressed support for the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act, a bill that would strengthen the government's reporting and response to hate crimes and provide resources to Asian American communities. News. The United States has officially surpassed President Biden's goal of administering 100 million COVID-19 vaccine doses before his first 100 days. AP's Sagar Meghani reports.
On a visit to the CDC's Atlanta headquarters, the president pumped his fist as Director Rochelle Walensky said the goal was hit weeks ahead of schedule. He told reporters earlier it could hit 200 million by 100 days. After being briefed on progress in fighting the pandemic, the president thanked CDC scientists.
We owe you a gigantic debt of gratitude.
And urged them to keep speaking truth and science to power.
Science is back.
The CDC says about 23% of the U.S. population has now received at least one vaccine dose. 12% is fully vaccinated. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
France, Germany, and Italy resumed use Friday of a coronavirus vaccine made by AstraZeneca, while British Prime Minister Boris Johnson got his shot after health officials sought to allay concerns the shot could cause blood clots. The European nations resumed inoculations after the European Medicines Agency said the AstraZeneca University of Oxford vaccine was safe and effective. The World Health Organization's director, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, said a WHO committee's review indicated the vaccine's tremendous potential to prevent infections and reduce deaths.
COVID-19 is a deadly disease, and the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine can prevent it.
Johnson rolled up his sleeve at St. Thomas Hospital in London, the same hospital where he was in intensive care after coming down with COVID-19 last year. Germany and Italy are trying to avoid a third wave of coronavirus infections, while France is experiencing its highest caseload in months. Security forces in Myanmar fired live rounds and tear gas on coup protesters Friday, reportedly killing at least 9 people in separate incidents. The reported killings and the arrests of several demonstrators in Angban occurred as protesters again took to the streets there and elsewhere. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres strongly condemned the continuing brutality of the Myanmar military, with spokesman Stéphane Dujarric saying the Secretary General will continue to stand with the people and their aspirations to achieve a peaceful, stable, and prosperous Myanmar. In Washington, the U.S. House of Representatives overwhelmingly passed legislation condemning the coup in Myanmar. The measure called for the release of those detained and for those serving in Parliament to resume their duties.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.